Hey family, much love to my soul family out there. Thank you for taking the time to watch. As you see, no title, okay? No title. I pray that all is well with many of you. Um, as you see, there's a lot going on in the world. A lot. The bills are thinning big time. Let me just say that. And not just that, a lot of portals are opening up as well. And there are a lot of people um, that are seeing a lot of, you know, um, strange phenomena that's going on, in their neighborhoods, in their backyards, shall I say. And the only way you will know about it unless they post it on social media. And social media is very awesome family as far as, where you start to seek social you find because you're not going to get it on the news, okay? A lot of these so-called phenomena that are going on all over the world, whether it be due to UFOs, um, people, seeing more, or shall I say, having more experiences when it comes to phenomena going on within their homes. A lot of people are now, a lot of people are now with their bare eyes are seeing portals, you know, and they're having very strange phenomena going on within the home. Um, Paranormal activities. The news is not going to talk about it. Okay, your local news is not going to talk about it. A lot of these strange phenomena, you will find out about it if you are seeking. The God of the universe. If you pray about it, I always say pray. If you pray about something that you're seeking answers for, it will be revealed to you in ways you think not, but it will be revealed to you. Okay, so keep that in mind. I am forever, you know, since my spiritual sight had awakened. And even before then, let me just say that, I was experiencing a lot of paranormal activity just coming up, seeing a lot of strange things that um, I didn't even want to tell anybody about, okay? And it's a lot of people like that. I'm sure many of you are like that. You're experiencing a lot of paranormal um, activities going on within your home. Um, you know, Going on in your own backyard, especially if you live like in areas surrounded by like a wooded area. Um, Many people are experiencing all kind of, it's a lot of Bigfoot sightings, more of it starting to show up. And they call this phenomenon what skinwalker, shall I say. A lot of people are experiencing that. More so-called fairies are popping up, small humanoid-looking beings with wings are showing up in people's backyard. Let me just say that. And I'm not talking about the ones that look illuminated. Okay, I'm talking about the ones that actually look. I mean, they actually look. They have a solid appearance to them. Okay, a solid appearance to them. But they look very small, humanoid-looking, and they have wings. Okay, or just seeing what looks like um, it's another world. It's another beings that I'm thinking about too. I can't think of it right now. Like leprechaun looking short people, and I'm sure that's not what they really are called, but that's how we view them, like little leprechauns. But I call them all fairies. Okay, yeah, you have those with wings, and you have those not with wings, but you know when your mind starts to really open up and you remove fear, let me just say that your mind start to really open up and you start to remove fear, you know, you will start, seeing a lot of things that you weren't seeing before. Okay. A lot of things will start to be revealed to you and it will blow your mind. It will really blow your mind. But I'm not the kind of person to where I'm very You know, some people when they see things, they're just very dramatic with it. Oh my gosh, you know, that's not me. Maybe because I'm removing fear, you know, and so maybe that's why when I see certain things that would bother me, um, I just see it with love, cause that protects me. You know, just like animals can pick up on fear with us, they can also pick up on when you're not afraid as well. So, with that being said, um, that's how I view it. I just try to have that shield of love around me. I'm always visualizing white light around me, period, day and night. And that alone, you know, um, protects me. Okay. And so no matter what I see it with love. Even if I happen to come across something that may not be, benevolent, shall I say, it feeds my aura field. Okay, it sees those, of my shield, shall I say, um, that's around me. So, like I said, for the most part, they know when you're fearing and when you're not, and they know they are able to touch you versus not being not being able to touch you, shall I say. So, I feel like that plays a big part. Um, because God has not given His children the spirit of fear, but a power of a sound mind. And if you happen to watch or come across a video that's talking about paranormal, not so much paranormal, but people who are seeing a lot of weird things going on all over the world. You know, whether they see something in the sky, or they just happen to be out and about somewhere and they see like a glitch, within the matrix, shall I say, and they're like hearing, oh my gosh, what is that? Oh God, you know, um, when you a sound mind and when you are in your heart space, let me just say that whatever you see, it should not, affect you in that kind of way. Okay? Because you're giving off the vibration of love versus fear. Because when we operate in fear, we attract more of what we don't want. But it's just like walking around saying, I don't want to see this, I don't want to see that. If I see this is going to really scare me. Don't focus on what is going to scare you. Don't focus on the fear. Okay, you move with power, love, sound mind. You move forward as far as expecting to see good things. Expecting to draw good things to you. And even if you see something very strange that would normally would bother you and affect you in a negative way, it's all about renewing the mind and see it from a place of love. Cause see, that's your shield. Your shield will come out, whether you can see it or not. They will see it, and you'd be surprised how whether it's an interdimensional being or something that came out of a portal, that happened to manifest or materialize in this realm, it would just fade out. It would just fade out because I've seen a lot. Okay, I've seen a lot of interesting things. I've definitely, seen the grays that would appear. Um, and they would just appear and they would just fade out. I've seen, the reptilians, that would show up. It's sort of like, how a person would see what they call a ghost and all of that, apparitions. Well, you can see that in the same way as though you're seeing ETs as well. Okay, they will appear also um, like an apparition. And I see a lot of things on my wall. It's like whatever's going on with inside of me is projected outside of me. As far as my spiritual sight, what is detecting, um, I will see it. I mean, that's how I look at it. You know, bouncing off from here to the wall, and I would see this, and as well as a host of other things I would see. Um, like I said, the veil is really, really thinning. One time I was just in my room here, but I was over there, sitting down on my bed, and I was seeing what looked like I happened to look over, and I saw like a huge face. And this so-called being may not have been a giant, but it was a huge face staring right back at me. And it just blew my mind. And the more I stared at it, because I wasn't in fear, I was startled. I was startled, but I wasn't in fear. And when I saw this huge face, right? I mean, the face looked like it was about, I don't know, maybe about 7 inches, you know, lengthwise. All I know, it was a huge face, like a male looking face. Um, Not like an actual human, it looked unworldly to me, but it was staring at me. And the fact that I said unworldly, it didn't look scary, it just startled me. But I wasn't in fear. I just stared at it and it just faded out. It just faded out. Um, Family, in the word, I forget where it is. Um, so I'm going to watch what I say. I don't like to add to the word nor take from it because we don't supposed to. But it's somewhere in the word where it speaks about, in the last days, people's hearts are going to, they're going to, it's going to, basically, it was saying something about how people's hearts are going to faint due to, you know, what's going to come upon the world, shall I say. Um, that which was once normal, they're going to see a lot of things that are not normal, okay? And, it speaks about how the stars are going to fall and all of this, and, how we're going to be, the sun is going to turn black, all of these so-called certain events that's going to jump off. Family, I don't question the word, let me just say that, but there's a lot of things that I truly believe is not going to affect everybody. I think about how reality it's an interesting thing, how two people can be standing side by side and one person will see something another one is not seeing. One person is affected by something that another person is not affected by. Um, I mean, this has been my truth since, you know, I had the spiritual awakening. Many of you know my videos go back, and I don't speak on everything because I don't want to come out as crazy. Because if you haven't walked the walk, or if you can't relate to what a person is saying, it will make that person seem kind of cuckoo to you. Okay, I watched a lot of videos I've been led to watch, and had I not known any better, I would think these so-called individuals were crazy, to tell you the truth. But you know what? They're not crazy. They are just having an experience. And due to where they are vibrationally, okay, due to where they are vibrationally, um, and also I think about this right here being open as well. They are seeing a realm that others are not seeing. And also many people could be having portals that are open, around them in their home, or just in that location. Period. There's a portal that's open, so they're able to see a lot of things. And I know at my last resident, I was seeing a lot of things, and I was having a lot of experiences, and a lot of those experiences that I was having there, I'm not having them here. So it's amazing when you move. It's all about location. It's amazing where you move as far as in this particular location you have a lot of activity. Okay, paranormal activities. Seeing UFOs and all of this. You know, but it's always in a certain location, and I'm not that far from that location. So I'm still having my experiences, but not as often as I was having them then. And I really went through some things when I lived at my last location. I mean, it has really changed my world. Okay, I feel like out of all the locations I've lived in, my last location, it's like a rebirth for me, a spiritual rebirth for me. Let me just say that. Okay. I had a dark night of the soul while I was at my last location, spiritual awakening. I had a kundalini at my last location. Everything was just like in different timelines of events, but it all happened at my last location. And I think we lived there, I think 3 years. We lived at that last location. I think it was 3 years. But so much happened within that time. So much has happened within that time. And had I not talked about a lot of those experiences, family, many people probably wouldn't even believe me. And just the fact I'm talking about it now, you know, like I say, everybody's experiences are different. But one thing that I have learned out of those situations, let me just say um, that was revealed to me. No matter what happened in this world, you know, um, when you are covered and your vibration is high. Let me just say that. And you walking in love, and you have a relationship with God, with Source. No harm should come near your dwelling place. Yeah, you're going to go through some things. We all do because we all have to go through the dark to bring out our light. Okay? Yeah, because there was a time I was scared to be in the dark. Yes, that's right, I was. But just going through that, it builds your character. And, while you're going through that phase, it's something that you're going to learn is going to come out of it. Okay? And it is for you to learn it. And I've learned a lot while I was going through those dark phases. I know what works for me, and I know what doesn't work for me. Okay, um, I think about like for instance. Now everybody's different. Your faith is your faith. Okay, but I always believed in Jesus. Okay, I mean I grew up in church. A Baptist background. Now I don't attend church anymore because the ultimate temple is within me. Let me just say that. And I have a relationship with God, and I do acknowledge the Son, Christ, Jesus. I do. I do. You don't have to, I do. But I know that He's real to me. I know what I've been through, and when nobody was there, okay? Nobody was there but God. So I don't need any naysayers to tell me He's not real. I know He's real, okay? I'm not denouncing His name. You know, I do acknowledge Him as Yeshua as well, okay? Some say Jesus, some say Yeshua. I acknowledge Christ, Jesus, Yeshua, period. I know in those dark times, you know, um, especially when I was operating in my lower nature, um, in my shadow self, being more worldly, shall I say, being more worldly. During this time when I was operating in my shadow self, um, I was not in my heart space. And um, I was going through some things with the individual. Make a long story short, you know, um, when you are in that cycle, okay, so everything's about cycle. When you're in a cycle of operating your lower nature and you're going through a dark night of soul, it's about cleansing. It's all about cleansing, and you're having like a rebirth moment. But the ultimate rebirth is not going to happen until you heal, okay? Until you heal and acknowledge it as far as you, your issues, because you'll have to heal from your issues, acknowledge it. And when you're going through the darkness, you know, um, when I say to bring your light out, it's different for everybody. But for me, due to the fact that my spiritual sight had awakened, the vibration that I was, the lower vibration frequency that I was, let me just say that, I was attracting to me of that which I was. Let me just say that. And you might be like, well, why would you attract something that dark? Um, that's the vibration that I was. Now, had I been high vibrational, I wouldn't have been attracting those things to me. Okay, but my heart was not in it. My heart was not balanced, because our heart must be light as a feather. Obviously, my heart was not right on the inside. Obviously, I was dealing with some unforgiveness. Obviously, I was feeling some type of way about an individual that I shouldn't have been feeling that way. So you can say, hate, unforgiveness, you name it. But all of this is stagnation. Um, it does not reflect growth at all. And when you're low vibrational, you will attract these dark negative entities to you. Okay, it is what it is. When you're high vibrational, you don't attract these entities to you because they cannot rise up, they cannot spiral up, but you can. Okay, that's the difference. And that's why I always say be mindful when you're dealing with people, because people are easy to trigger you. For one thing, they ain't happy. They don't want to see you happy, or they're just jealous, or they just feel some type of way about you. Maybe your light is too bright. But can nobody dim your light? But you can. You can dim your light if you stoop down to their level. And the only way they can really, affect you in a negative way, unless you bring yourself down to their level. This is them. They're like the yep, 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 and you bringing yourself down by responding to their yep, 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 yep. And here you are being negative. You bring yourself down. So can nobody dim your light? It is you that dims your light as far as how you carry yourself out here, how you respond to certain situations. And don't get me wrong, I had to learn the lesson as well. You know, there's been times that I've been triggered, okay? But I knew I better rise back up because you can easily experience psychic attacks. Okay, so many of you been experiencing some psychic attacks. Well, look back over your life. Okay, think about somebody that triggered you a while back. Okay, because things don't just happen to us, just be happening. We all been triggered somewhere. Okay, the enemy know your weakness. So it's something that has happened a while back that caused you to be experiencing attacks. Okay, whether they're spiritual attacks or somebody that just want to harass you. And think about it. It ain't them. It's what's inside of them that's trying to get to you. But if you know about spiritual protection, yeah, you can nip that in the bud, and it doesn't have to be physical. It's you go to spiritual warfare to deal with that. Okay, but a lot of my brothers and sisters don't know that. That's why they want to attack you physically. Well, I can't wait to get my hands on you, but you can nip that in the bud spiritually. Okay, get your ancestors involved. All right, get your spiritual team involved. You can nip that in the bud. Just let love be your guide, and you rise up. Okay, don't stoop down to their level. You rise up. And they're like this trying to jump at you, okay, but you're rising up. They can only go so far and they fall right back down. Many of you, I'm sure, when you go through yourself, when you are in deep meditation, I'm sure many of you are experiencing um, either seeing like a tunnel or I call it a well, I call it the well effect. It may seem like you're in a well, and you know how round it looks, like imagine yourself like on the bottom of a well, okay, and you are looking up, and you see the walls are very round, and you can see people like looking down at you or whatever. I experienced that also. That was that right there was just mind blowing to me. I couldn't see the people that good, but I was seeing them, and they were seeing me trying to rise up. And there were times I would be knocked back down, but the fact that I seen it, I kept going back to it. To eventually, I was able to rise up out of that. If it doesn't look a well to you, it might look like you're rising up and you're seeing clouds, like round clouds. Everybody's different. But when you start seeing that, keep mastering yourself because you want to rise up. And if you're able to rise up out of that, it's going to blow your mind. But it is for you to experience that while you're going through yourself. And you have to really be through yourself for a while. It doesn't happen like just like that. It takes a while to break through, when you're going through yourself because you tapping inwardly. You're going through your own universe within um, your own inner being. Let me just say that. It's like it's just you and God, and you're shutting this world off. You're going to see a lot of things. It's going to blow your mind. You're going to see these divine, doors opening up to you. And it's a lot that I want to say, but I don't want many of you to take what I'm saying and thinking that you're going to see the same thing that I'm seeing because many of you won't. Everybody's experiences are different. Let me just say that, okay? But those doors will be open to you. And it's going to show you something new and you're going to learn something new. Let me just say that. But many people, they don't go through these doors. They shun from it because due to fear, the unknown. And that's what's going to limit and that's what's going to limit a lot of my brothers and sisters, the fear factor, you know. But anyway, I was on YouTube and I didn't watch the video yet. But if I come across it again, I think I'm gonna have to hit history. I saw it. I saw it, and I kind of like flipped the channel and went to something else. But they were saying the title of it was something about shocking discovery, um, giants in Afghanistan, shall I say. I'm not surprised about that, family. You know, the word speaks about giants also. I'm not surprised about that. You know, not only are there just, ancient, bone, I'm gonna say, well, not only are there like bones that shown up all over the world, these giant bones and all of that, but you know what? People are also, um, there are videos of them seeing giants standing on top of a mountain. And even if you do your homework, you know, um, this one video, I forgot the name of it. There was one video of this guy where he lives. Okay, I don't know if he live in. I forgot what his location is, but if you do your research, you might come across it. But this one guy was he just happened to have his camera and he was showing these mountains, right? Cause he lived like in an area where there's a lot of mountains, and I don't know if it's Colorado, but anyway, let me continue. And there were there was a big old tall looking humanoid looking person that was on top of the mountain. I mean, it actually looked like that, right? And he was filming it. He was zooming in, and anyway, he did several TikTok videos of it, and it went viral. And he said he was going to go to that area because he wanted. Obviously, he's very fearless. So I admire him for being fearless. But anyway, he said he was going to actually check that location out. And he drove up there and everything. And he saw some unmarked cars, and we know what that's all about. Okay, and that's the shadow government. And they was telling him to turn around and all this mess. And but make a long story short, he ended up dying, okay, mysteriously. All right. But one thing, the fact that he went public with it, you'd be surprised who's watching these videos, okay? So I always tell people to be mindful what come out of your mouth, because they know who is who, and they also be tracking people when you end up doing certain things and finding out about certain things. And the fact that he was filming that, and who knows, I shot a government probably already knew about these beings that had existed, because a lot of them live within the inner earth anyway. Okay, and maybe they have some kind of powers to where they can open up portals and they can be in and out. But anyway, um, that young man, I don't know how he died. They didn't say how he died, but he did mention before his passing that he was being followed. Okay, as far as the unmarked cars, you know, um, showing up in front of his home. So I thought it was very interesting right there. Um, but like I said, the fact that he made it public, I'm sure they started to monitor him and stalk him and all of that. And he was also being threatened. He had mentioned that as well. So the point I'm trying to make is family. It's a lot going on around the world. A lot of these so-called giants are appearing. They're showing up. So that's not no big news to me. I keep thinking about 911 as far as our military. Headed to Afghanistan, and they just took the area over. Family. I talked about it then while I was picking up in the spirit about that. I told many of you back then that, and I'm sure there's more to it, but as far as the 911, that was pretty much, a plot for our government to get over there. They always come up with some kind of scenario. Um, I don't want to say order out of chaos, but like a cosmic effect. They're trying to think of a scenario to where, why they do what they do. Let me just say that. But back then they wanted to blame it on Saddam Hussein, and they just took the area over, and they were there for many, many years, family. But my higher self letting me know, that they did all of this to get over there to take over because they had found out about a Stargate, okay? And when it comes to these artifacts that are appearing over the world, for one thing, I wish a lot of my brothers and sisters will not make everything so public when it comes to things that they're finding. Because see, anything can fall from the sky. Let me just say that. Because it's nothing but Star Wars going on above us. Please know that. And then these meteors are falling. You just never know what you might encounter. But a lot of people, they're posting a lot of things that really, I mean, I appreciate the fact that they're talking about it, but in a way, it can make them targeted when it comes to our government. Okay, they're talking about it, and the government will find out where they live, and one minute they're talking, the next minute they're not talking. Okay, for whatever reason, they could be, you know, it can be due to the fact that they were warned, not to speak on the topic anymore, or something could have happened to them, and we know what that's about. Okay, we know what that's about. Um, but they do it. They do it all the time. They see these strange artifacts. You know, um, they'll be in a certain location to where they're seeing like Bigfoot sightings, and they post all this stuff on social media. And a lot of it, I truly believe is real. I truly feel like a lot of it is not fake. Okay, but anyway, getting back to Afghanistan, um, it's not so much of just a Stargate. You know, there are, evidence of giants in that area, okay, hidden within the mountains. And they know about it, family. They know about it. And that's why when I hear certain things, I'm not surprised at all. I'm sure many of you are not, because that's the time we're living in now. It's a lot of things that were once hidden, almost like God revealing it and bringing it to the light. I think about um, let me just say it like this: when you have these countries, okay, that want to take over another area, it's something to it. It's something to it. It is something to it. Um, Especially like when Russia is trying to attack another country, another area. It's something to it. It's something over there in that area that they know about, and they want that artifact, or if it's a being that's in a tomb. Let me just say that I'm saying a being, but I let many of you, you know, I many of you judge for yourself what I'm trying to say. But whether it's a ET or a fallen angel, whatever the case may be, they make excuses to start wars with these countries, and it's really just to take over because there's something over there in that area that they want to possess at the end of the day. Okay, there's something over there in that area that they want to possess for themselves at the end of the day. Okay, so I let many of you think for yourself what that's all about. Okay, but it's the same thing when it comes to Afghanistan, even though they can't really just take it over, but they were there for a long time. And for them to actually leave it alone, I'm not saying leave it alone. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of our military are still there guarding something or guarding it. Okay, because if they haven't actually removed it, they still have some, military personnel there that are guarding it. Um, and that's the same thing when it comes to Antarctica. They are guarding it. When it comes to certain locations around the world, they are guarding it. That's how they do. That's how they do. Like right now, they are guarding. Let me see. How can I say this? Right now, they're talking about the Euphrates. How it's drying up, and it has gone viral. How they are hearing these voices. You know, um, that in an area that was once, you know, um, hidden in the caverns, shall I say, deep below the water. Like I said, the water has dried up. So these deep caverns, they are hearing the sound of something moaning. Um, they're saying that these are, the sound of giants, fallen angels. Not giants, I'm sorry, not giants, but fallen angels. Let me just say that. Um, I too believe it's something to that. But you know what? I don't fear it. I don't fear it. And when you know whose you are, family, 'cause it's going to be a lot of things that are going to start coming to the light. I told many of you already. A lot of pyramids are going to start showing up. It's going to start rising up in the ocean, in the sea, and it's going to blow a lot of people's mind. It's not so much just the pyramids; it's what's inside of them. Okay, it's a lot of ancient beings that are dwelling within these pyramids. That are in tombs. So a lot of that is going to start to be revealed as well. But for the most part, they probably won't even talk about that. You know, for the most part, they're going to go inside and check out these so-called ancient structures. There was once in the water that was hidden, but once they rise, they're going to check them out and pretty much be guarding it. They don't want to let people tell them the light is fluctuating. Okay. Anyway, uh, sometimes when that happens, I have to be mindful of what's coming out of my mouth. Okay. Um, it could be my ancestors telling me, "All right, now you're talking too much." Okay. They get it. They get it. But anyway, it's a lot of that going on now. Okay, it's a lot of that going on now. Um, but let me just say this. I'm gonna end the video. I can always do another video another time. I just chit chat with my family. Okay, there's gonna be lots going to go on. It's gonna go on in the world, family. Okay, but please know the Most High God's children are covered. But you have to know that and believe that, and definitely have that relationship with God, because the word says worship me in spirit and in truth. And I believe that. It's not so much of lip service, okay? It's a daily walk. It's a daily walk, you know. And you don't have to be all religious, saying they thou, and talk to church talk, shall I say. Just be you. Just be you. Talk to God like you're talking to a friend. Just be you, you know. And you don't have to be talking to God as far as verbally, just meditate and talk to God within your being, okay? Your closet is within yourself, not going inside of a closet. I never forget, you know, I will always hear people say, go in your closet, and here I am going in a physical closet, and I just sit there in the dark talking to God, you know. I think about, you know, going into a place that no one is around and just me and God. So I would go actually in a physical closet. And then when I had my spiritual awakening and I started to awaken inside of me, having that relationship with my higher self said, no, this is your closet on the inside. The inside of you, your temple, okay? The Most High God's temple, okay? Go within yourself. So anyway, but you're in meditation. Yeah, that's your time. It's just you and God. But anyway, and when you start to see with yourself, you will know where you are. Okay, I can only speak for myself. You can go through yourself and look at your body. Just look at yourself. Okay, while your eyes closed, just look at yourself. You will see whether your light body is luminous or is shadowy looking. I've seen both. Okay, but as I start to raise my frequency and you know work on myself, As I was going through myself, it went from shadowy to luminous, like a light body. Okay, and the Most High God's children, we all come from source. Let me just say that. We all are a spark of light of the all. And we are all boundless. And there is no fear. So with that being said, move forward from a place of knowing, because you are who you say you are, and move from a place of power, love, and sound mind, and be in your heart space. It will protect you. Everything is not going to affect everybody. Every time I say this, and when things happen in the world, many of you, you know, you know, we've been through a lot. Through the pandemic, we've all been through a lot. With a lot of all kind of scares, you know, turning around to something, but we all been through a lot. And I would come on here and I would say, you know what, family, everything's not going to affect everybody. Okay, just raise your vibration, be your heart space, have that relationship with the Most High God. Everything's not going to affect everybody. And then once the storm passes, you see you're still here, you're still standing. Whether you tell me or not, yes, you are right. Everything, it's not going to affect everybody. Everything is not family. But what bothers me a lot is a lot of my brothers and sisters, out here, they're saying that they're woke. They're not acknowledging Yeshua. Um, that bothers me a lot. But please know that the past cannot be changed, but the future can. Nothing is set in stone. And just because a person may be where they are in the now and you may not approve of it, it don't we shouldn't let me say it like this, we should not condemn our brothers and sisters just because they're not where we are, okay? We got to pray for one another, love one another. I always say love, I love you from where you are, because a lot of people, they have that mind that's so up here, and just because a lot of our brothers and sisters are still trying to figure things out and they're not where you are, a lot of times our brothers and sisters want to discard them, like, they're so saved and this brother or sister is not. It is not our place to say whether a person's gonna be damned or not, because anybody can change, anybody can repent. Anybody, as long as you have breath in your body, you have time to change, you have time to repent. Let me just say that and get it right. So I'm not going to ever be sit up here like I'm so this, like I got it all together. And even though I'm seeing a lot of my brothers and sisters that I feel may be spiraling down, they may be spiraling down today, but tomorrow they might start spiraling up. I don't know what tomorrow holds for them. Okay, but I will say this: God is very merciful. Most High God definitely being merciful for me. Let me just say that. And I'm grateful that He loved me enough to correct me. I'm so grateful. But just as He loved me enough to correct me, look at that. Just as though the Most High God loved me enough to correct me, as long as my brother and sister has breath in their body, which is the gift of God, all things are possible. That brother and sister can change. That brother and sister can be saved by the grace of God. Okay? In Jesus' name, in the name of Christ Jesus, Yeshua, that brother and sister can be saved. But just because it's going to be a lot of things going to be going on in the world, it's not going to affect everybody. For many people, it's going to be like another day. You're going to have that brother and sister over here that's dealing with lack. Over here, this brother and sister dealing with abundance. They're in a good place financially. They have resources over here. But just because you have resources, is what you do about it. Are you going to be like this? Or are you going to open up, share, be of service, help your brother or sister So I look at everything as a test. You know, what you're going to do about the situation when it presents itself to you. Okay, what you're going to do about it at the end of the day. That's how I look at it. All right, I'm going to end I'm going to say this reading. I'm going to end this video, but I want to shuffle real quick and just see what comes out. Okay. I call this world event. Now, if you're somebody that very religious, please stay in your heart space. I'm still your sister, okay? I have the gift of the spirit. I claim it humbly and gratefully because it helps me, and I know it can help somebody else. I'm led by the Spirit, and I acknowledge the Holy Spirit. Let me just say that leads me to all truth. Um, I definitely exercise Acts 2:17, so read it for yourself, okay? It speaks about the gift of the Spirit. How, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. Go back and read about that. So this shouldn't really bother anybody. These are just tools. I can know things about you if I just meditate on you. This backs me up of that which I already know. Okay. But anyway, I want to just shuffle real quick. Divine Spirit, Holy Spirit leads me to all truth and clarity about what's presently going on in the world, anything that my brothers and sisters that are watching me need to know, to be mindful of, seek for clarity. Now, I always say that time to answer my reading because really there is no time. It's a lot happening in the now. Let me just say that. Things have to play out. So, anyway, with that being said, I'll set my intentions, what's going on in the world in the now, okay? In the now. What do my brothers and sisters need to know? Okay. I don't know if y'all can see this. I'm going to just read them out, okay? I have like 15 cards that came out. None of this in divine order. They are random messages. Keep that in mind, okay? Let me see something real quick. Hold on, okay? Let me see. Okay, family, these are just random messages. And they're not in divine order. Okay, this is my so-called world event deck. It has here abuse of power. I think about those that are in high places, our world leaders, abusing their power, but we know this already, okay? If you can't see it, that's okay. Freak of nature, not natural. I think about these so-called scientists, okay? How they are manipulating the DNA of our animals and people, okay, in these so-called facilities in the desert, hidden from the people, okay? Freak of nature, not natural. Fighting battles, standing their ground, So this is going on also behind the scenes. I think about people who are dealing with spiritual warfare, fighting battles, standing their ground, or there's something that's going on behind the scenes. Okay, some kind of battle. Any day now, less than 3 or 4 weeks. It's something to this. It's something to this. Any day now, less than 3 or 4 weeks. Let's continue. Evil, dark beings to recycle, trapping humanity, mankind, recycling souls. So our world leaders, let me just say that they have their hideous agenda when it comes to why they do what they do, as far as tampering with our water, tampering with our food. Because see, all this keep us like a low vibration. Let me just say that. What they put in the air. Let me just say that. But God, okay, but God. To recycle, trapping humanity, mankind, recycling souls. And also, I thought about the jab, okay? Now they don't even make a big deal about it anymore, okay? I'm trying to tell many of you to stand your ground. And if you were not able to, for whatever reason, I'm not judging you. You did what you had to do, okay? Everybody's different. But many of you stood your ground. A great energy shift, a great energy shift happening from the sun, solar flares. So this is either going on now or we're going to have another burst of energy from the sun. When this happens, there's nothing negative about it. It's very positive. It just lets me know, wow, get ready to receive some upgrades, okay? Get ready to receive some upgrades and get out and smell that good ass product and definitely, yeah, sun gaze. Right, raising the frequency. Now these two go hand in hand. Need more love. It's going to take love for your frequency to rise. Please know that. It's not going to rise when you are in hate or you're feeling bitter. It's not going to rise that way. You have to, love has to be your thought process, our thought, our energy, as well as, you're going to have to think positive. But many people are going to operate being ignorant, okay? They're in that box way of thinking, whatever the media say, that's what goes to many people. And I do understand that was once me until I had awakened. Draco, old race, ancient beings. So this is playing a part. I truly feel like this is playing a part when it comes to, you know, this so-called, space wars that's going on above us. But anyway, something about this is going on behind the scenes. Draco, old race, ancient beings. And many people don't even believe in this stuff. Something about the Palladians. Something about the Palladians. Even the Bible speaks about the Palladians, okay? It has here ancient technology to transport or teleport. Remember I was talking about the Stargate? But there are others. It's not just one Stargate. There are many other Stargates. But it speaks about an ancient technology to transport or teleport. From another dimension. And you better believe they've been using this technology. I'm sure they have this certain crew. They had to sign these forms. If something happened to them, they won't be liable. But yeah, you better believe they have sent people through these portals. Okay, and many of them probably didn't even return. And if many of them were able to return, we won't know their findings. Sun, solar flare, release intense bursts of energy, downloads, and light codes. Now, this goes hand in hand, really. Um, when it comes to the sun, this goes hand in hand. Now, many of you, if you're very sensitive like your sister, a lot of times I can tell when the sun is giving off a burst of solar flares, this energy. If you start to hear ringing in your ear, but I'm normally when I'm starting to hear ringing in my ear, something is up. Okay, and before I know it, I watch the news. They're talking about how the sun had, given off a burst of solar flares. But anyway, when I put this together right here, it says any day now, less than 3 or 4 weeks. Okay, and then I see this right here, a great energy shift happening from the sun, solar flares. And this right here says sun solar flare release intense bursts of energy, downloads, and light codes. And then this says raising the frequency. So family, please work on yourself. Get in your heart space. Put the work in to heal. Okay, as far as those shadow aspects, we all have them. Some are more severe than others. I don't get on here just be talking. Okay, I use my gift for good, and I try to be the voice for the voiceless, but as well as a servant. And when you're doing this kind of thing right here, you can be mocked, but you have to have tough skin. But I know everybody don't know what I know, okay? But there are those that knows what I know as far as they are too, operating in knowing. Okay, they just know, and they get this right here. That they know that what I'm saying is definitely genuine because it picks up on it. Okay, so that's why I don't really be worrying about nobody criticizing me because many of you are too on your spiritual journey and you know what you know. Okay, many of you are very intuitive. You know what you know. Just like I can read. Many of you can read me as well. Okay, all that comes with the gift. So I think this is very interesting. So talking about the Palladians. Who knows, maybe the Palladians and the so-called Draco, this old ancient race is fighting above us. It's a lot going on, family. It's a lot going on. And many of these so-called race of beings have their own agenda, why they do what they do. But many of them are benevolent and many of them are not. And this Draco, old ancient race, they're not benevolent. They're not for man's highest good. This race right here is all about control and abuse of power. And they have their own agenda. Okay, they're not for man's highest good. Let me just say that they're not for man's highest good. But at the end of the day, according to the spirit, we need more love. We need more love. Okay, and the way you see the state of the world, how a lot of people are acting out, they're not in their heart space at all, and they can easily be attacked. They can easily allow attachments on them, shall I say, draw attachments to them because they are too low vibrational. So anyway, what came out needed to come out. All right. Let me see anything else real quick. I'm going to end this. Anything else my spirit wants this children to know at this present time? Anything else? Most like God wants children to know at this present time. To be mindful of. Thank you. I told you it's gonna be more increase of this. You didn't see it, but it says paranormal. It's gonna be more of this. You know why? Because the veil is thinning. So you heard it here first. Now you all many of you already knew about the veil thinning. Let me just say that. So I don't want to come up like you heard it from here first. But the point I'm trying to make is I already explained to you, uh, be in your heart space. And whatever you see and whatever you see to you that's maybe startling, don't fear it. Okay? It will fade out. It will fade out. And the veil is thinning. It's a lot walking around me right now. Okay? And the veil is thinning, you never know what you're going to see. Anything else you think I want students to know at this time? So it's going to be more increased paranormal experiences, okay? That's a lot. But I don't question it. They are trying to warn us. They are trying to warn us. I do sense that I do sense that the Palladians, ETs, are benevolent, and they may have their own agenda, but I don't sense that it's negative. Okay, it has here they are trying to warn us. And then by this coming out, I feel like these two go together. I have here Palladians, and there are other ETs that are also benevolent as well. Unworldly from another dimension. Unworldly just means not from here, okay? Unworldly from another dimension to help awaken humanity. And many people are seeing these ships. Let me just say that they're seeing the long gated. I'm seeing a lot of long gated white looking ships. Okay, sometimes they appear like they're planes, and I know they're not planes because they're not making any noise. But anyway, I'm sure many of you are starting to see them now. They're becoming more frequent. Okay, so maybe are you going to start seeing these long looking um, light ships? And look, they're the size of planes. Some of them are smaller than a plane, and some of them are longer than a plane. But they're just sitting up there quietly, and all of a sudden you see them moving along. Once out, trapped. Who do you think the spirit of the living God is talking about? Once out, trapped. It's a lot of beings that are trapped. And then I just got through talking about the Euphrates, what's hidden, what's in chains, but it's nothing for us to fear, okay? Fear the Most High God. That's what you should fear the Most High God. In love and respect. That's all. Something once out is in chains. Something of great magnitude is coming. Something of great magnitude is coming. But we know this because we live in a time now. It's a lot happening in the now. Okay. It has here messages, something about messages. It has here signs. I'm sure many of you can start receiving messages as a download. No time soon, not now. Messages. Oh, how they follow the corrupt leaders, hanging on their every word like sheep. They keep them in bondage in circles. The ignorance. People like me and others, they don't want to hear what we have to say, but oh, how they hang on our world leaders' every word and then news. More signs to come, more visitations. This is the time for us to embrace it. Okay, you can't do nothing about it anyway. Experiment with dark matter, open lower dimensions, CERN. And this is another reason why people are seeing the things that they're seeing, okay? They are messing with these so called dark matter, okay? They're opening up portals and Lord knows what's coming out of them, okay? So they are too contributing as far as what's being seen. Let me just say that. Spiritual growth awakening. Many of my brothers and sisters are waking up, okay? It's a spiritual growth awakening. So kudos to many of you that are waking up to control and enslave humanity. Now, that race of being that I was telling maybe about the Draco, the ancient race, yeah, this is their MO to control and enslave humanity. This is their MO. okay, of dark forces, preparing for crossover ascension. As it was in the day of Noah, so shall it be also in the coming of the day of the Son of Man. It was a lot going on during that time, wasn't it? Everybody being married, everything's everything. Um, people were just caught up in the now, and you know, as far as anything that was going on, you know, wasn't nobody heeding anything. Okay, everybody just caught up in themselves and drinking and being married. Let me just say that, ignoring the obvious, preparing for crossover ascension, you know, and I think about when I think about this, I think about like rapture, but many people are disappearing family. They're not talking about it. There's a lot of people that are going missing, and a lot of it is due to this right here, due to paranormal, due to paranormal. Many people have been beamed up and not returned. Many people are being placed in, let me just say this, many people have been shipped to other planets as to be enslaved, to be enslaved. Let me just say that, to be enslaved. Um, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. But it says preparing for crossover ascension, okay? Stop, caution, avoid danger. I'm gonna tell you what I think about. I think about many people that run their feet to evil. They don't stop, think, and reflect. It's a lot of people that's reacting, okay? They're doing a whole lot of reacting. And many people are running their feet to evil. Every day you see this. That's why it's always somebody, you know, retaliating, shooting somebody, or somebody shooting somebody else. Um, but with this right here, I think about many people running their feet to evil. Okay, serving themselves, not trying to help humanity. Many of us who have the gift of the spirit, we can use it to help ourselves. And I definitely would say definitely tap in as far as you yourself seeking guidance so you can better be of service to help others. But at the end of the day, many of us need to be about a service, okay? Helping our brothers and sisters. And this is just a reminder for me as well. Serving themselves, not trying to help humanity, especially when you know what you know. Okay, you may not know everything, but you know what you know. Many of us needs to be about, you know, others, think of others, you know, especially for those who have ears to hear and they are truly heeding the message. You might not be able to help everybody, but you might just help that one, that two, that three that decide to listen, okay? And help them as far as to get on the right track. Um, so this was definitely interesting, family. And when I think about this right here, I think about CERN, experiment with dark matter, open lower dimensions. And they think they're doing something. They think they're doing something. Little do they know they are part of the agenda as well. And do you know these people get funded? Yeah, where's that money coming from? They got money for that, don't they? But with people out here starving, out here in the streets, homeless, they don't got money for that. If anything, they really get rid of them instead of trying to help them, instead of trying to lift them up. No, but they don't got money for that. But they got money for the space wars, don't they? Much love to your family. I'm not here trying to get you to think the way I think, to tell you what to do. The God within you will reveal things to you. And many of you been praying about certain things, and you relate to me. to watch this video. You didn't know what I was going to say, but I'm sure you have received a lot of answers because I'm sure your dream been telling you a lot. And you didn't know I was going to do this right here, but you know, the fact that I'm doing this, I'm sure that many of you, a lot of your questions were answered. Let me just say that. So anyway, I love your family, and at the end of the day, it's what you do that's going to determine everything. Remember, the past cannot be changed, but the future can. Nothing is set in stone. Even I do like readings on people. I always say it's what you do from this day forward that's going to determine everything. Because nothing is set in stone. Okay, nothing is set in stone. Even when it comes to these so-called like world events that have been prophesied, we can change as a people, but many people don't want to change. And you know what? That's a choice. Everything's about choice. You can't help them, but you can't help yourself. But if you're in a position to be of service and to help, yes, give back, think of others. Okay? Don't worry about trying to hold on to your money because tomorrow you may not be here and somebody else will be spending it. So while you are in the land of the living, and if you have breath in your body, definitely work on yourself. Definitely humble yourself, repent when you know you're wrong, and be of service. Help somebody else. So whatever came out needed to come out. Okay, whatever came out needed to come out. And remember, new wave of energy coming in. Prepare, get out in nature and meditate. I feel like this is meant for me as well. You'd be surprised how these energies can affect you in a good way. Okay, it's all about DNA upgrade. And such a time as this is definitely something that we all need. Okay, um, it will help you in ways you think not. Okay, don't fear it, embrace it. So I'm through talking. I love you. And bye for now. And get out and what? Meditate. Peace.